Get down. Hey, good morning. Welcome to Erie Shores Prepping. I'm your host, Greg. Well, did you see the installed commander-in-chief give his threatening speech to the American public on Wednesday? It was tough to take. Once again, he threatens 50% of the public who, if they vote for conservative thinking, it's a threat to the democracy, and it's pretty tough. One of the things that is coming down the road, and it is going to be forced upon us unless we the people stand up, get rid of these woke politicians on both sides of the aisle, and say, no, we are not going to accept this Green New Deal. No, we are not going to be forced out of our work because it has diesel fuel, or it is run by gasoline, or it is the carbon footprint is too large. We are not going to be forced out of our cars that we like because they want to do away with fossil fuels, impacting our economy, crashing it down. But that doesn't matter to these people. The New World Order, the United Nations, has an agenda. 19 stupid countries are trying to comply with it, the United States being one of them, saying we're going to meet the zero net emissions by the goal of 2030. And if we can't, John Kerry, the unelected bureaucrat stooge who flies around in his private jet chastising we the people for not compliance, for not having the sight to save our planet from a theoretical 1 to 2 degree climate change raise in temperature by 2050. These buffoons won't even be alive. Al Gore said 10 years ago, 11 years ago, we only have 10 years to live, and that was 11 years ago. John Kerry's mimicking that and saying, oh yeah, we're all going to be dead, because he listens to some girl in Sweden saying, oh, climate change, that's the biggest threat to humanity. No, it's not. No, it's not. The biggest threat to humanity is wars and famines, which are going to be increasing because the stupid governments that are in compliance with this climate change are taking away the farmland because of the carbon footprint, according to them, is too great. Taking more food off the thing. But John Kerry doesn't care. John Kerry was on the networks saying by 2037, we will be all electric vehicles, and that's what Joe Biden wants, and that's what John Kerry said, I am going to enforce. So he makes the statement by 2037, he wants America, meaning Biden, and it's up to John Kerry to enforce all electric vehicles. First off, who's John Kerry? He's nobody to me. He is a rich elitist that thinks he's smarter than everybody else, flying around in his private jet, making demands supported by taxpayer dollars and woke companies. But it gets better, folks. They have a thing called COP27 coming up in Egypt. And that's where countries are all going to go. They're all going to panhandle from one another that has money and say, if you give us $1 billion, we will make an effort towards climate change. Unfortunately, 19 countries, one of which the United States is part of, is contributing to this climate control agenda. And the UN Secretary General says, hey, United States, your donation has to equal the size of the threat. And what does that mean? $1.3 trillion. The United Nations Agenda 2030 wants the United States to donate to them. That's our taxpayer money. They want $1.3 trillion. Now you say, wait a minute, there's 127 countries that signed on to this. Why are we the only ones? Because we are the only ones that are stupid enough to believe that propaganda. We are the only ones stupid enough to realize if you take away farmland, that's going to slow down the food production. They want us eating bugs, believe it or not. It's hard to fathom, but that's what's going on. They want us in electric vehicles. They want us on commuter trains and buses so they can control our movements. Think I'm kidding? I'm not. They want a flood of migrants into this country so that they can change the social agenda and the social status and the voting. If you dumb down the country, they can get away with whatever they want. And what are we going to do with all these people? Just like in New York, build tent cities and give them free laundry, free Wi-Fi, free video games, free food. And the Catholic charities are bringing these people all up from South America, paying their way here, hiding them because they're being reimbursed by the United Nations. I'm not making that up. That's the truth. And it's all part of this. COP27. Look it up for yourself. It's going to start happening November 6th in Egypt. And the people that are signed on to it is the United States. And what do they have planned for us? You're going to be forced into an electric car, according to John Kerry, according to Joe Biden, by 2037. And they're going to make sure that happens because, hey, Detroit gets tax breaks. And if Detroit doesn't get those tax breaks and say, no, we're not going to make electric cars because it's a dog, it's a loser, guess what? The feds say, you know what? You know that subsidy you like? We're going to take that away. Yes, sir, Mr. President. How many electric cars and what size, what color would you like? That's how it works. And we are going to be forced to knuckle in to a new world order, to a one world government. And that's the agenda, 2030. Read it. You've heard me talk about it. All right? COP27 is coming up. You're going to see the buffoon there in Egypt, along with Lurch, John Kerry, representing us, saying, yeah, we're going to give you taxpayer dollars. Here you go. 1.3 trillion pledged over 10 years. Think about it. New world order's coming. Means the Antichrist is coming with it. That's the plan. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Get yourself right with God. Get baptized, submerged in water. In the name of Jesus Christ, I'm like Greg out.